What's up, you guys? Trevor here. I need to get my textbooks, but they're too much money. I hear ya, I hear ya. That's why I'm gonna show you how to get almost any textbook for free or extremely cheap. Both digital PDF textbooks and good old-fashioned physical hardcover textbooks. But before we start, I'm gonna have to ask you to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're coming from my last video, hi. Textbooks can be expensive, and not everybody can shell out hundreds and hundreds of dollars for textbooks that they may or may not even use in class. Obviously, this can be a big problem for some people, like the person watching this video. So I might just be able to save you a lot of money. You're welcome. Now, it's normally recommended that you buy your textbooks before school even starts, so that you're ready for class.
I'm ready.
But depending on your university, professor, and maybe even the subject that you're studying, buying the textbooks might not even be necessary. So the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you actually need the textbook that you're looking for.
I need it!
Believe it or not, some classes won't even use a textbook except for maybe a page or two. But even those might even be provided in the slides. So now you might be wondering, how do I figure out if I need the textbook? Well, I'm glad you asked. Also, if you're not interested in figuring out if you even need the textbook or not, and you just want the textbook right this instant, go ahead and skip to around 4:20 in this video.
Hold up.
Actually, I just wanted to make a 4:20 joke. Here's the real timestamps. But for real, it would be pretty silly to go and try to find a textbook that you didn't even actually need. To figure out whether you even need the textbook that you're looking for, all you have to do is simply ask the professor. That's really all you have to do. Just go ahead and ask them, hey professor, do we really need this textbook? Is it really necessary? And a lot of the time, the professor will still say, yes, it's necessary in order to be successful in this class. Your professor might say this because it's entirely possible that they're making a commission on the sale of the textbook. So of course they want you to buy, but it's still worth asking just in case they might be honest with you. Now, to really figure out whether or not the textbooks are going to be necessary, and if they are, how to get them for cheap or even free, you'll want to do a little social engineering. That's how you can get more truthful information out of people in a more roundabout way. It'll also cause whoever you talk to uncontrollably smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. So in order to do that, you'll have to go back and ask your professor, hey professor, I'm super excited to start your class. Would it be possible to get the names of your top students from last year so I can ask them for study tips? Of course, the professor will probably say yes, because what professor wouldn't want to show off their best students, right? Once you get a list of names, try to find them on Facebook or some sort of social media. Then ask them if the textbook was actually necessary for the class. You might be able to buy the textbook off them cheap, or maybe they'll even give it to you for free just by asking. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I need to insert current year textbook, not last year's. And that might be true if you're studying something brand new or on the cutting edge. But you see, textbooks don't actually change all that much year to year. Some of the time, they just change the number on the cover and maybe rearrange where a chapter is. So instead of chapter 12 being slope displacement by integration, the publisher will just swap the chapter number with, say, 15. Not only will doing this possibly get you the textbook for free, but you'll also gain a little bit of favor with your professor, which might get you better grades. But if you have social problems like me, you might think that sounds kind of hard.
That's what she said.
So you'll probably want the free PDF version of the textbook that you need. There are a few ways you might be able to get it. These methods should be able to get most common textbooks that you might need. The first way is to use a website called Library Genesis or libgen.is. This website is like a hub for books. They have textbooks, fiction, nonfiction, scientific studies, magazines, and they even have a like button to smash for the YouTube algorithm. The point is, if you want it, they probably have a PDF version that you can download. I'll leave a link to it in the comment section. And hey, while you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment, even if it's something random like slope displacement by integration. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Now, I do want to warn you, the website design is a bit dated by today's standards, but don't let it fool you. After all, it's what's on the inside that counts. But for real, don't worry, it's still kept up to date with all the current books. So since it's a little dated, I'll show you how to use it so that you don't have to spend time figuring out for yourself. The first thing that you need to do is get the name of the textbook that you want to download. You'll need the name of the book, and it'll also help if you have the author of the book's name too. Go ahead and type that into the search bar and hit search. Now you'll get to this wonky page that looks like an accountant's spreadsheet. This is exactly what we're looking for. If you know the year of the textbook that you need, you can go ahead and tap the year column and it'll sort by newest to oldest. From there, you'll want to check the author and the title of the textbook, and then tap the name of the one you need, which is super confusing. There's texts and tabs everywhere. It's a real mess. But it's a good thing you're listening to me, because I'll tell you what button to press. It may not be the right button, but it's the one that seems to work for me. The button that I press is the button that says this mirror. From there, it'll take you to another page to download your mirror. Don't worry, it's not a real mirror, it's a PDF. You wouldn't download a mirror, would you? Now, go ahead and click the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps out the channel. All right, now click the button that says Cloudflare. That's the one I clicked and it worked for me. So now, one of two things will happen. It'll either download to your computer or it'll pop up on your screen in a new tab. If it pops up in a new tab, you still haven't technically downloaded it to your computer. So you'll have to find the download button. You can probably find it in the top right corner. And sometimes you'll get a PDF, but sometimes you'll get a déjà vu file or maybe some other random file type. If you can't seem to open it, simply Google search déjà vu to PDF online converter, and you'll probably be able to convert it to a PDF. By now, you're probably thinking, this is so much work, I don't know if it's worth it. Which is true, it is a bit which is true, it is a bit of work. But remember, you're getting a $200 college level textbook for free, so it's probably worth a few extra minutes of work. Now, if you can't find what you're looking for on Library Genesis, there is another website that has a lot of textbooks that I'll mention real quick. It's called Mobilism. And no, it's not communism's more mobile cousin. Get it? Communism, mobilism. Nah. Anyway, it's actually a massive forum where people post and request PDF books. And it just so happens to have a lot of textbooks that you can search for. But the catch is you have to make an account first before you search. For getting your hands on physical hardcover copies of textbooks, you can visit a website called campusbooks.com. It has a lot of used textbooks for a pretty good price. Yeah, I know it's not free, but hey, if what you really need is a good discount, this is a good place to look. One more good place to look for physical hardcover copies of textbooks is a website called studentvip.com.au. Now, this seems to be only for Australian students, but hey, if you're from Australia, you're probably pretty glad I mentioned it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, even if it's something random, in the comment section below. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Let me know what videos you want me to make in the future. I read all your comments. And if you enjoy these types of videos, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.